All right, guys, we are back. Card of the week: Sephiroth, Opus 11, Dark Legendary. A lot to talk about here, so we're not going to waste any time. RB, thank you again for sharing these wonderful cards. Yeah, so let's read this one and let's talk about it. You can only play Sephiroth if either player has received 4 points of damage or more. If either player has received. Okay. When Sephiroth enters the field, choose a character, break it. Forward, backup, monster, whatever. Octa Slash, just S. Choose up to 1 forward, up to 1 backup, and up to 1 monster. Remove them from the game. You can only use this ability if each player has received 5 points of damage. Okay, that's interesting. Full art. Interesting. This is the other half of that cloud card, right, from the art. Sephiroth is imposing. All right, so let's talk about this. Let's break it down before we go on and look at the cards they talk about. My first impressions are a little underwhelming. If either player has to be at 4 damage, right? So you can't draw into this early game, or you're kind of like already drawing into a dead card, and I don't like that right away. I think the first time, I almost read this wrong. I thought it said both players have to be at 4, which would have been absurd and 100% not playable. So I'm not a fan of the, being in a situation where either they might as well have labeled this a win more or a lose more card, or like a catch up card, right? Because you're either ahead by 4, you're either winning because they're at 4, or you've taken somewhere around 4, like 4 or more, and then you can play this card. He is cheap and he is big, but I don't think you're ever going to use this Octo Slash, right? Because if you're both at 5, then yeah, it's a really close game, and if you've had to hold on to Sephiroths or whatever, like play this and then hold on to it, it might be silly. But then again, you could always be playing, the 7 drops, and then have this one in your hand for later, or like you're waiting for something. Being able, like, as much as I love damage as a resource, I don't know how much I enjoy waiting till 4, right? Like, I don't ever want to put myself in a situation where I'm waiting to take a certain amount of damage. I know we like to bait people into that right now because we like to live at 5 for a lot of our effects, 5 or 6 even, Ultimecia, and like there's now the new Squall, and there's a lot of cards that I see that are doing that right now. And so I don't know if that's really what is going to be a good idea, but let's see what it talks about. I can't think of anything that pairs with this right away. Obviously, we want to just, at 4, just spamming this guy would be good. So Renault is always great because it's an enter ability. So this talks about server join confirmation. Kuja, okay, getting you there faster. Cactuar getting you there faster, and utilizing Kuja while you're there to kill more stuff. But these are a lot of heavy cards, and so I don't know if I like that much either. And then you do have tons of Sephiroth. Oh, this Sephiroth will finally be playable, maybe, right? You can play multiples of this one or a few of these, and then to go along with the 3 drops of that. But we do have a lot of Sephiroths already, so getting his S isn't going to be the problem. It's just waiting till you're both at 5 damage. Honestly, this one's not, I don't know, it might see play. But I'm actually honestly leaning towards not seeing a lot of play. Unless for whatever reason we have... Okay, so, right. I was going to badmouth it right away, and then I'm like, this one's coming off a little too short and a little too negative. So, as I was saying that, I was thinking the deck, there could be a time where damage control is a thing. And, we already have Gabranth, which is like the next point of damage you receive is reduced, right? And that's how we do through Zodiark. But playing those cards along with this one would also mean that Zodiark can get us there faster, right? We can rush backups, and then, playing against, what's it called? WAF, and anything else really, like they, even if Vampire goes wide really early too, we'll just Zodiark, get us to 5 really quick, and then or get us there, remove his board, and then we can start playing this to do it. And then I think there is a new Warrior of Light, which I don't have a picture of, and we don't really go to other pictures for these, but he also says the next point of damage you receive is going to be 0. So keeping yourself at a certain point, like being able to control yourself from getting to this point until it's necessary, might be something that we can look into. But with only 2 cards like that, like, you know, the Gabranth and that Warrior of Light, it's like I think it's a wind 3-drop. We're not there yet. We do have more cards like this coming out, like Kuja, that says deal yourself a point of damage, which means that we're going to need more EX bursts as well. So, you know, that Bahamut seems playable. People are talking about, I've seen people play that Bahamut lately in fire decks, which I would never play. But, you know, dealing 10k and then taking another point of damage is a way to speed this up as well. If you like that kind of gamble, sure, then, or if you want to go into an all, like, be at X amount of damage kind of deck, you know, we already have a lot of color fixing backups coming up, so this is something that would fit in something dangerous like that. But for me, that's not a real strategy, unless there are more than one effects like this Sephiroth that that really push damage, right? Like, now, if we need to get both players to 5, obviously, playing Fusoya will help you get there, but you can't play this in Fusoya, so that's out of the question. But what's the one? Jet deals damage. The Luso deals damage to your opponent, and then what? The new Sid FFBE does it too. Getting, you know, you could take a little bit to set up, get yourself to 5. Leave your whole deck and that says 5 or more ready to go, and then you know, just play cards like, you know, Jet and FFB Sid to get them to 5, and then you can really just shut them down. But again, I don't know if it's worth it, man. Like, this one seems, this move really seems overpowered and like very, very like clutch game finisher, Yugi moment, top deck the S to break a forward, a backup, and a monster. So I'm not gonna go for it there. And those will be my first impression thoughts on this card. I'm not impressed, honestly, but I can see in a deck where controlling damage is more common, and dealing damage is more common, right? Like, we can get there. Let me know what you guys think. I'm always down for, you know, discussion. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time.